So we all know, we've been listening to all these experts, right? Times have changed. Oh my God, Bill, you do the most amazing job of sharing information in this format. And we know that millennials and Gen Z are now the largest part of the workforce. We see the rising costs. We've heard all of that today. There's actually shortages of people. Brian's been telling us all of this. So how do we deal with it? Well, LinkedIn versus Facebook, believe it or not, 71% of users on LinkedIn have an income greater than 50,000. And in fact, it's closer to over 75. And here's something interesting. LinkedIn is 73.3% more successful in reaching business decision makers than Facebook. So please don't overlook LinkedIn. And 80% of B2B leads are generated from LinkedIn. And here's the thing that I just want to qualify, because people say, well, I don't deal with B2B, I deal with B2C. Nalenia, you're a great example. You and I are very similar. So when I refer, and I've referred clients to you, when I refer somebody to you, they may be a business, but they're also a consumer that's looking for your services. So I want you to understand that a lot of entrepreneurs out there are B2B, but they're also the B2C. So just don't underestimate the number of leads that LinkedIn generates. I love the fact that 93% of B2B marketers are using LinkedIn. And by the way, we're all marketers. And 45% of them have gained a customer through this platform, with over 850 million people. And every second, 2 new people are joining. And Microsoft owns LinkedIn. So I think it's interesting to know that just overall, social media is one of the most important channels to connect with clients. And more than 75.4% of internet users are using social media for brand research. What does that mean? That means they're checking you out. And the place they're typically going to check you out is LinkedIn. Why? Because 1 out of 3 businesses don't have a website. That's great news for you, Millennia, because they need them. And here's a little tip, okay? I have not had a website that I use forever. However, why? Because I'm on LinkedIn with 32,000 plus followers. So you can go to GoDaddy and go buy the domain name LinkedInNalenia.com. And guess what? It will now send people to your LinkedIn. You don't have to do LinkedIn.com/IN/ whatever it is. Just go buy the domain name LinkedIn, put your name after it. And once you have a LinkedIn site that you love and you're proud of and you want to use it, that's how you send people there. And people are 2 times more likely to believe what they read on LinkedIn than any other site. Take that in for a second. 2 times more likely. We all look at reviews, we all look at things, but when they go to LinkedIn, they're 2 times more likely. And 4 out of 5 users on LinkedIn are driving the business decisions in some fashion. So let's talk about the first secret. Number 1, have a complete profile. What does that mean? Complete all the sections, make sure you're using keywords, and make sure it positions you as the only logical choice for the product or service that you offer. Because so many of us do a lot of the same thing, but we all bring different things to the table. So let's talk about Google for a second. Now, we all know that everybody uses Google to go search for what they need. And many years ago, my daughters, when they were young, thought it would be so cool to Google all the moms. So they went out and they Googled all the moms, and they came back to my daughters and they went, oh my God, there's 10 pages on your mom. Because I speak a lot and I have, 5 books, and there's a lot of stuff out there on Google. They go, is she famous? And they go, oh no, she doesn't even have a job. She just talks. And then here it is. So again, this is what I Googled myself the other day. And because there are 10 or 12 pages, I've been on 100 podcasts, I still show up first with LinkedIn. So I invite you all to Google yourself. Because remember, if people are 2 times more likely to believe what they see on LinkedIn than any other site, and you have a LinkedIn profile, if your LinkedIn profile is showing up on the first page of Google, there's a very good chance that people are going to click on it and make some sort of a decision about you. This is what happens when you click on mine. Notice my headline is not basically just saying the Sure Method, which is what the name of my company is. It tells you what I do. It shows you a little gold button that says, oh yes, she's using the paid version. It tells you where I went to school. And little tip for you, this is a way that you can book a call with me and actually fill out a little form so I get to know you, because I want to take you from LinkedIn over into my email, because if LinkedIn ever shut down, my business would shut down. So I'm not looking to spam you. I'm not looking to, use a list in any way that's inappropriate. What I want to do is just give you an unfair advantage and basically put you into my email so that I can send things of value. Anybody recognize this handsome gentleman? Jay.
There he is.
And look at this beautiful woman, Nalenia. Oh, and there's Patrick McClure. Oh my gosh. So what do you see about all of these people? Number one, look at Jay. You don't look under Jay's, first of all, you know his qualifications. He's an MBA and he has a certified exit planner, right? You can see underneath his name all of the things that he does. Same thing with Nalenia, with Pat, with yours. I could have found so many amazing ones. I just picked 3 that you would probably recognize. So again, if you Google any of these folks, guess what? When this comes up, all of a sudden, what do you think? Oh, they're very credible. However, here's what happens. Often experts show up like amateurs. What I like to say is it's like you're going to a black tie dance in your running clothes. So here's Eric Berman. Eric's one of my clients, and many of you have heard of Brian Tracy. Actually, Eric owns a digital marketing agency, and Brian Tracy is one of his biggest clients. But when you look at this, it's like you're very underwhelmed. No background, fuzzy photo, and then it just says founder, CEO at Branditize, investor and consultant. You would never find him. Look at the after. Now it tells you, it gives you his tagline, tells you what he does, has his branded page, totally different. If somebody said, oh my gosh, you need a B2C digital marketing agency, you look at Eric or you find Eric through your search, how much more credibility do you see when it shows up this way? So make sure you're dressed for the party, because you really don't get to make that second chance to have a first impression. So what should your profile contain? A banner, by the way, if you don't have one, go to Canva. It's free, canva.com. They actually have templates there. A professional headshot, the keyword optimized headline. Please, please, please put your contact info. We need to know how to find you. If I want to do business with you, I need to know how to find you. If I need a website and I want to call Nalenia, I need to know how to reach her, right? You have to know how to reach people. So you want to have an about section. Here's the thing that I will tell you. Make it easy to read. Make sure you write it in first person and that it is written from the standpoint of the person that you know is reading it. Because the one word that you don't want to have over and over in that about section is a 1-letter word called I, because people don't care about you until they know how much you care about what they do. The featured section, I'm going to show you that. That's one of the most overlooked sections, and it's so valuable because it's front and center. Your experience, your education, volunteering, publications, projects, skills, and recommendations if permitted. There are many people in financial services that have compliance issues, so you always want to make sure that you can do recommendations. So no, you can take a snapshot of this because this is what you want to, but let's talk about the headline. So if you look at a headline, this is mine. Okay, LinkedIn, if you don't put one there, LinkedIn gives you one. So you want to make sure that it isn't your job title. Here's the formula. What do you do? Who do you serve? How does your service benefit others? Is it specific enough to differentiate you from your competitors? And does it identify the services you provide? A great example of this, and I don't think I pulled up the slide, but I have a client named Jacqueline Joseph. Jacqueline is a handwriting analysis expert. She's probably one of 5 in the country with the certifications that she has. And she couldn't understand why nobody was finding her. She's like, I've been an expert witness a number of times, and now, nobody's finding me. Well, she was what I call in the LinkedIn Witness Protection Program, upgraded her profile so that her headline told everybody what she did. And within 2 weeks, she called me and she said, Rhonda, I had 3 attorneys reach out. They want to talk to me about using me as an expert witness. So don't underestimate the power of your headline. Here's another example. Sanjeev is actually a commercial real estate broker at Colliers. A lot of you have heard of Colliers. So if you're looking for somebody that does what he does, would you ever find him? Probably not with that title, because that's the default. Now look at it. International real estate site selection and portfolio management, real estate cost saving strategies, lease restructuring. These are the things that you're looking for. So again, if you're looking for somebody with international real estate site selection, Sanjeev is never going to come up with the headline that he has over there. You want to make sure that your headline, and use the other little trick, just let me show you. There's a space between every one of these words with the little diamond that I'm using. If you don't put that space there, LinkedIn thinks it's a run-on sentence and they'll never find you. So little things are very important. Remember I told you about the featured section? Well, here's the third secret. This is where you can put your videos, your podcast appearances, your articles, your case studies. So here, if you went to mine, you'd find a 2-minute sizzle reel that talks about what I do. It has testimonials. You can go click on it if you want. It's on YouTube. But again, if somebody's considering working with me, because I'm in a very competitive space, I want them to see that. The second one is a post. Now, I put this post here because I teach a course called Posting for Profit. And this post went viral, 2 million views. It was crazy. And if you click on it, you'll watch it. It's actually just a super fun post about after day, but he actually does it with a fun twist. And then the third thing is just me being featured on one of 100 podcasts, but that one happened to be a good one. So if you don't have the featured section, add it. And again, you can have up to 15 things on your featured section, but all that's going to come up front and center are the first 3. So make sure what you're putting there is what you want your audience to see. Okay, secret number 4. How many of you have at least 500 or more first level connections? And guess what? You've never talked to them. They're like those first cousins that you just have no relationship with. Well, the gold is really in those connections. You can actually just go do a search. You don't even need the paid version to do it. And how do you reconnect with them? Send them a message. Maybe I've seen some people in this call today that I haven't talked to in a really long time. So what I could do is say, hey, Sid, I see that we've been connected for a long time, haven't really had a conversation. It's 2023. Let's reconnect and learn how we can support each other. I promise we'll keep it in the no sales zone. Here's a link to my calendar. My gosh, what an easy way. Another way is follow those people in your connections and start liking and commenting their posts. Want to do something really cool? Reshare their post. Why? Because then you're exposing them and their post to your audience. And then the third thing, and I invite you all to do this, send an unexpected but well-earned recommendation to your first level connections. How many of you here can say you've gotten great value from Ellermeyer Connect? And if you're not connected to Bill Ellermeyer, please connect to him. Send Bill a recommendation and tell him the value that you have to be connected of what you get from this amazing magazine style format organization. Send one to Millennia. Nobody knows how much hard work she does behind the scenes. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Millennia. So send her a recommendation. When you send somebody a recommendation that's unexpected, it is like walking out of your car and finding a $20 bill on the ground. It is just like it makes your day. Okay, secret number 5, let's talk about posting. When do you do it? Best time between 8 and 10 a.m. And in order to get people to engage with your posts, you have to engage with theirs. You have to like, comment, and share. Have you ever gone into a bank and said, I'd like to make a withdrawal today? And they said, well, you've never made a deposit. Doesn't work, right? So you can put all kinds of different posts. This happens to be a post that was a video, okay? And it was actually a funny video. You can see it on my profile. It's actually an air traffic controller who knows that his girlfriend is on the plane and he's actually proposing. Now, does that have anything to do with LinkedIn? Absolutely not. However, what did I do? I took this little post, and by the way, make them less than 45 seconds, and I wrote about it. Sometimes we really go out of our comfort zone and take chances, even when there's an audience. I've done this many times. This is such an inspiration because if we don't take the chance, we never know what we might miss. And then I ask people to actually engage with the post. What have you done that took you far outside your comfort zone and was one of your best decisions? And notice I have 3 different hashtags there, but look what happened. And this is just, 63 people clicked the like button. We don't care about the views because we can't see it. 7 people commented. That's not really 7 because I comment back, but 4 people reshared it. That gives me 63 people to reach out to say, hey, thanks so much for liking my post about the proposal on the plane. Love to just get to know you better, jump on a call. We've been connected. Another thing you can do, and this is a gold mine, is use LinkedIn polls. Why? Because when you do a poll, whether it's one that's specific to your industry or it's just fun, what happens is you now know who your audience is. You can sort, sift, and separate because the only one that gets the result of the polls is you. So, and then finally, LinkedIn allows you to do newsletters. So you can invite your connections to your events or to sign up for your newsletter. Okay, here's a really cool tip. If you're going to do a LinkedIn newsletter, but make your first one awesome beyond awesome, because LinkedIn gives you one chance. I have not done mine yet because I'm waiting for my website to be updated. And LinkedIn invites everybody in your database. So in my case, that's almost 30,000 people. That's a lot because I've almost hit the max. To actually subscribe for your newsletter. Okay, that's a very cool thing. So again, if you're going to do one, be strategic and make sure you have 2 or 3 of them in the hopper, and know that just for the first one, LinkedIn's going to do all the heavy lifting for you. So let's just talk a little bit more about this strategy, because this is the one that I told you about. It's on my featured section about having fun at work. 2 million views, 15,934 likes, and it got reshared 1,368 times. If I reached out to these people, oh my gosh, I'd be busy for a year or 2. Here's another fun one that I did. This is just a short little video, and it's a picture of a little girl in the shopping cart with her mommy, and right across what she's looking at is the liquor aisle, all of the vodka, right? And she says, oh, that's your water bottle, mommy. Well, it's kind of funny, but again, does it have anything to do with LinkedIn? No, but it says our kids are our best teachers, do as I do, not as I say. And then I kind of bring it in. Would you hire a LinkedIn expert who did not generate a significant income from LinkedIn? I retired my husband from his corporate job using this platform. Would you work with a financial planner who was broke? Food for thought, or in this case, drink for thought. This generated 44 likes, 3 comments, and 6 reposts. So if you're thinking that all you need to post is just stuff about your industry, think again. 70% should be motivational, inspirational, educational, or humorous. Stay away from all the religion and anything that might be controversial. Step number 6, let's just get the conversation started, right? How do you get appointments? How do you generate leads? How do you create relationships? You use the search feature. So let me show you what I did. I'm using the free version. I work a lot with attorneys, okay? Why? My first career was a paralegal, then I was a divorce mediator. So I did a first level search of my connections for attorneys in San Diego, okay? I came up with 73. And it turned out that in this particular case, I noticed that Pedro, and I cut off his name just because I couldn't screenshot it all that well. Pedro had just started a new job. So I sent him a message because he came up in my search. I noticed you started a new position at St. Thomas. We've been connected since 2015. And guess what? Pedro's on my calendar for next week. How cool is that? I mean, really, all you want to do is do the search of your first level connections. Okay, recommendation number 7, or secret number 7, which is recommendations. Recommendations need to be current. Okay, I've seen recommendations on profiles that are older than my shoes. Believe me, my shoes are old. What you want to write in a recommendation is, what are people good at? What do they do better than anybody else? What impact did they have on you? How did they make your life better or easier? Well, let's use Lenia. I'll use you as an example again. You made my life easy because I know that when I'm going to be coming to LMI Connect, you always make sure the Evite goes out. You stay in touch. You follow up. I could send one to Jay McDowell. Why? He sends out all the list of people. He makes my life so much easier knowing who was here. Is there a specific result? What surprised you? Oops, let me go back just for 1 second. And again, LinkedIn shows you the date, shows you the relationship, and on the bottom tells you how many you have. And you have the ability, by the way, to decide whether or not you're going to show the recommendation or not. And when you send it out to somebody, keep in mind when you ask for them, typically people are busy. So sometimes you'll have to send them an email letting them know that you've requested that they do this, but recommendations are key. So what's the secret? Well, when you have LinkedIn positioning you as the expert you are, you have the world in the palm of your hands.